So, my husband made shepherd's pie for dinner. It was delicious, and I'm going to show you how he made it. So, the first thing he did is whip up a pot of creamy mashed potatoes. We have a video showing exactly how easy this is to do, and I'll put the link in the description. Next, he made his own beef broth. He likes to use sodium-free beef bouillon and add it to hot water. He stirs it together and then takes it off the heat to set aside for later until we're ready. We previously used to buy beef broth from the store, but we never used it consistently, so this works better for us. Next, he adds some salted butter to a pan and then allows it to melt completely. Once the butter's completely melted, he adds some minced garlic and allows that to cook really just briefly before stirring it around and then adding the chopped yellow onions. He stirs it around and then allows the onions to cook for some time. He even goes ahead and covers it so that the onions can become a little softer. Once he checks on it after a few minutes, the onions are cooked nicely. And this is how he knows it's time to add the ground beef. He makes a little bit of room in the pan and then adds the ground beef inside. He uses 80-20, which is what we tend to use with cooking. Now he goes ahead and breaks up the ground beef as much as he can into small pieces while cooking. He browns his ground beef a little differently than I do. Whereas I tend to leave it undisturbed, he tends to take a lot of time to break it up first before leaving it undisturbed. Whatever way you prefer is fine, just let the ground beef brown. So after some time, he removes the lid and then goes ahead and stirs it around again. He really does take the time to break up all the chunks throughout the whole browning process because we don't want any big chunks of meat with the shepherd's pie. After covering the pan and allowing it to cook, he checks on it and sees that at this point the ground beef is cooked nicely. There's really not any more pink pieces visible. You can see a lot of the fat, the beef juice is basically there. And most of that we're going to really just want to drain off because we don't want that inside of the shepherd's pie. So just for a quick comparison, you can see all of this liquid here, but then once we go ahead and drain it, you can tell that there's really no liquid left now at this point, and this is perfect. So next he goes ahead and adds the beef broth that he had previously set aside. Then to season the beef, he goes ahead and adds some ground thyme, followed by some black pepper. He keeps the seasoning pretty simple compared to what he previously used to do. He adds just a bit of salt. He goes ahead and mixes it around. He used to add a bunch of different seasoning inside, which was great, but then what he found was keeping it simple really is best and it brings out the flavor. Then he goes ahead and adds the Worcestershire sauce. I almost didn't even want to make the video because I didn't want to say the name, but it is what it is. I'm not an expert in pronunciation. So he goes ahead and tastes it and he sees that it's perfect. At this point you can add additional salt if you want, but this is how we like it. Next he actually adds the carrots and peas and then the corn. We use canned vegetables. You can actually use frozen if you prefer. Just know it may take longer and it may also bring out some liquid. We prefer to use the canned vegetables, drain off any liquid, and then add it to the meat. It cooks fairly quickly. So he goes ahead and stirs everything together. Then he flattens it out and allows it to cook uncovered for about maybe 5 to 7 minutes on medium heat, just to allow most of the liquid to evaporate. When he checks on it, he sees there's not so much liquid there, so that means it'll be perfect to go ahead and make the shepherd's pie. And don't worry, there still is plenty of moisture left inside the meat. So he goes ahead and grabs a 9 by 13 inch pan and goes ahead and spoons all of the beef and vegetable mixture on the bottom. We definitely prefer to not have a very wet shepherd's pie, but if you do prefer it to have more gravy or liquid in it, you can choose to allow more liquid to remain. Once he flattens it out some, he goes ahead and adds the top layer of the mashed potatoes. Some people do choose to make special designs on top with the fork, but he just prefers to keep it nice and simple. So he puts it into the oven that has been preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. He lets it cook for 30 minutes, and then before you know it, dinner is ready. It's delicious and was very simple to make. Some people do prefer more of a char on the top layer of their mashed potatoes, so you definitely can broil it for a few minutes if you like, but this is just the way that we've come to love. It's interesting, I never really knew much about shepherd's pie until randomly my husband said he was going to make it for dinner one day, so obviously I was excited. Now this definitely is, our family's interpretation. We make it with ground beef, not ground lamb, because ground beef is so much easier to find. It's also kind of seasoned in a way that, our family really loves. So hope you love it.